Welcome back to another episode of MotoGP Mac, and today we're going to talk about the sprint race that just happened for the Spanish Grand Prix at Jerez. Now before we get into it, here's how it finished. Marc Marquez won it from Alex Marquez, Pecco Bagnaia, Franco Morbidelli, Fermin Aldeguer, Fabio Di Giannantonio, Maverick Vinales, Marco Bezzecchi, Joan Mir, Pedro Acosta, Brad Binder, Aya Ogura, Luca Marini, Enea Bastianini, Alex Rins, Raul Fernandez, Augusto Fernandez, Alicia Spargaro, Lorenzo Savadori, and Samkit Chantra was the last one across the line. Johan Zarco crashed, Jack Miller crashed, and Fabio Quartararo crashed. Now, when the race got underway, Marc got a really good start and overtook Fabio in towards the first corner. However, Fabio was having none of it, and he let off the brakes and went back up the inside of Marc and led for a couple of laps until Marc did eventually pass him, and Fabio was on the outside of the circuit, tried to turn in and lost the front. And that was really the story of the race. Alex Marquez did Pecco off the line, and once Fabio crashed, there was not as much happened after that. Really, it was kind of a stale race. As you can see from the results, top 6 bikes were Ducatis. Maverick Vinales best of the rest, really, and looked okay on pace, but is still in 12 laps, nearly 8 seconds behind Marc, which is quite troublesome and troubling, really, if you're looking at it. Marco Bezzecchi had a good enough race up 2 spots. Joan Mir started 9th, finished 9th. Pedro Acosta, Brad Binder, Aya Ogura, they all actually went forward within the race. Biggest mover in the race actually was Alex Rins, up 8 spots. But it was just kind of one of those strange ones that happen in Jerez. Sometimes they can be barnstormers where there's a group of them together. Other times they just seem to get a bit stretched. And once they're stretched, there was not a lot of passing. Kind of a little bit of a stale race, I would call it. But saying that, Pecco 3 seconds behind Marc in a sprint race. You could really see he just doesn't trust the front of the bike and going through the corners. Franco Morbidelli did have a track limits warning, so I think he kind of relaxed off Pecco. Fermin Aldeguer, I don't know how he stayed on the bike. Nearly launched himself, but overall, look, it's another one in the books. Tomorrow I think will be a little bit different in the way the riders will approach it. I don't think any soft tires will be out, so it's definitely going to be different. The weather conditions appear to be good for tomorrow. As for today was actually perfect weather conditions. But look, it was a shame that Fabio did crash. I think he could have mixed it up a small bit and also broke up the Ducati top 6. I definitely believe tomorrow he will be in a better position. But it is a great example in the couple of laps that we saw, the inline 4 versus the V4 and the strengths and weaknesses. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What did you think of the sprint race for the Spanish Grand Prix? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.